Hello, John Dilworth here. Thunderstorms are expected this evening in New York. What a better way to experience it with the thunderstorms going on inside this cage. Which the cage you can't see right now because Jane is not in the cage. She's outside the cage. She is in the cage. She's outside the cage. She's in the cage. I just was looking for this. She's inside the cave. Cave? That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm in a cave. So let's do some cleanups. I spent this afternoon, I was feeling so stressed, and I thought, well, what's the best thing to do about that? And obviously, it is to get animated. And I felt much better. And so I just want to show you this. So Jane is doing this little screamy thing here. And she's going to be screaming a lot from this point on until something happens. And it's really two moves. She goes, Jim opens the door, flips. He goes bananas when he sees this. And he's seen it so often. I mean, really, he's seen this so often. But every time, it's like new. You know, when this thing happens, this transformation happens, it's always new. You think, oh, it's over, it's done. And then the lovey-dovey, and then all this play, and then... So these are just 3 poses. It's just like this. All right? And you could... And I've timed them out. It's a very fast scene. Lots of business going on. I wish I could show it to you, but it'll take hours for all the complexity. So I just thought, why don't we just do this? Why don't we just clean up? Now, I have a funny way of cleaning up. I don't take another piece of paper. I've lost my eraser. Can you believe this? You would think we're organized here. No, we're not organized, apparently. Well, that is a phenomenon worth all the strangeness that's going on already. And did it just run away? What kind of supernatural... There it is. It's always been here. Remember this filthy thing? You don't want to... No. If you needed a reason to wash your hands, here it is. So what I'm going to do is, I like using the original line. So what I do is I dampen down the drawing. All this beautiful history here, all that time is now encapsulated in this thing. Can you believe how much life is in this? So that's that. And then, so let's just look at where things are. And we begin cleaning up. Now, what's so great about working on our own design is, yes, we're being consistent, must. For continuity's sake, I mean, if we're not just radicals doing what we want anytime we want. Although that's kind of exciting too. I mean, that's a different type of approach, a different concept. So we were talking, as us animators do, just amongst ourselves, really, while we're cleaning up our drawings. What to do when the doo-doo gets to hoodoo. And it's art, draw. Okay, that's just my advice, right? But animators know this. Cartoonists know this. They get that pad, they get that paper, they get their favorite pen, their brush, their favorite ink. Maybe they'll even dare go outside, sit by the river, by a park, underneath a nice tree, listen to birds, whatever those things are, right? And one thing I'm doing when I'm progressing the drawing is keeping an eye out on little details. For instance, I noticed there are some details missing up here on the top of the eye. So now I'm going to make sure that they exist moving forward, and they do, they're there. So I'm going to have to share something with you may not like. As I clean up one drawing, I'm thinking about the one after, the one that's going to follow, so that everything is clear. Remember, that's what we want from life, is clarity, consistency, right? Consistency. And that's when you know it's the real deal. Continuity from all areas, especially the gravest ones, require this kind of absolute continuity. Everything should match. Otherwise, what is it? We don't want artists to start questioning and becoming confused. You know, there's nothing worse than getting a drawing with one set of instructions and you start following those instructions, and then there's a kind of contrary instruction later on, a competing or confusing, and then you're asking yourself, well, is that deliberate? What's with the director? Is he a dum-dum? Or is there something else going on? Now, I have to also confess that I've had very little experience working under other directors. Maybe in my young days, when we're just breaking through the gates, kicking stuff over, you know, saying, hey, this is me. Like me or don't like me. But this is my work. This is what I can do for you. Things like this, right? Those puppy days, which many of you probably are right now, in those beautiful puppy days. And Jane, my little device, conceit, graphic conceit, is give Jane her eyelashes so that, I don't know, Vicky Vo worked out the colors, and she's the colors of Jane. Of course, you know, she'll be this set of colors, but also helps to have these little details. And also there was a suggestion to make Jane as a wolf more feminine, so I give her a little waist. And then when I think about Jim, I guess I'll have to make him, you know, with this scoliosis, you know, with the curved spine. Now, don't read into that. We'll have to think about that later. What does that mean, really? In high literature, a deformity would symbolize a spiritual shortcoming, and I would buy into that, absolutely. Was it deliberate? I didn't deliberately do it. It comes out of us. How does it come out of us? Because we do it, right? We do it, and there it is. Voila. Voila, as the French say. Why do they say that? I wonder. So here it is. We're cleaning up. And as we clean up, we're always checking continuity, right? That things flow, they match. If you see any details that are missing or could be improved or included, you put them in. But then they have to stay consistent, right? Moving forward. But listen, all the veterans or any veterans that are listening to this already know. But it's good to be reminded by your colleagues and peers. And I miss that also. I miss that. You know, when you're sitting in a studio and you go to the washroom, and you come out and you're suddenly walking into cellophane tape, you know, because somebody had taped the entrance of the washroom. And come on, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do that alone? You can't do that alone. Animators need to be with animators. Well, not always, but it's a lot of fun. You got a good crew, and everybody has a good sense of humor, and they like to laugh and feel good about their art, and they're not so stressed, and I paid well, and it's that bon vivant. What is going on now? I realize I'm doing a little French show here. I did read something in French I found in a book. In 2002, I was in the Louvre. The Louvre. 2002, and I had the book with me just now, and I found it. I started to read it in French. And that's one of my big ambitions, to have learned French. And I took French. I took French for 6 years. And it didn't stick. It did not stick. That's just the way it is, right? We can't all be perfect. I'm just going to take this drawing off like this, because we can. I already checked that. That's going to be fine, so I don't need to be pegged. But drawing, wow, what a way to relax. I mean, there's so much we could do. And it's Friday. The weekend's on its way. And this is a big picture. We are nearing. I can't even speak. I've got so many other problems going on. Let me see. Look at this. 2:56. 2 minutes, 56 seconds, and 8 frames. 8 frames, 2:56. We're nearing the halfway mark. We've had some incredible financial setbacks, which you just, in this world, you get penalized if you're not a billionaire. If you're not a billionaire, man. So process is slow. One day somebody's going to have to interview me about this before courage thing, because that's a whole nother mystery, candle theater, whatever. You can't imagine. It's just, but I guess we're lucky this way. Wow, look at that. Oh, so that's just, I'm almost done. I cleaned that up without even knowing, without realizing it. And that's what I'm trying to share, that there is some kind of mysticism going on. Time evaporates. Oh, wow, look at that. Really, time just flies. It just, when they say fly, I'm like, time flies. And so what I'm going to do now is just going to put some little, I'm going to do her underbelly. I guess I'm going to go here and there, and then I'm going to color that in for the colorists, so they know what's what, because I, as the director and animator, am responsible for how good and how well they do their job. Right? That's the agreement. Then we're looking out for one another, and we only want the best, right? So I want Nina, who's inking, excellent inker. Well, we haven't been able to paint anything yet, because, well, the arch enemy of all endeavors, money. And just when you think that you got some to progress, you got to give it away. You got to give it up. And that's just the way it is. We're lucky to be alive. Right? Ha ha! Oh, you noticed that the tail popped on another layer. And that's another thing altogether. But look at that. That's a cleanup. My style. Dilly style. Now, look. I'm not going to say... Let's say we had a different version, which I'm not going to do. You get a piece of drawing. You get a drawing like this. Let's say you're an assistant and... They say, okay, clean this up. And you want to make it look nice, so you'll do a new drawing and clean it up. And it will look like, I have an example for you, so don't worry. And it'll just, it will look like that. Or it will look like that. And you'll see that I had to make an adjustment. And that's that. Okay, so I wish you all very, very good weekend, relaxing. Create art, sing, play music, dance. All of these are proven to improve the amazing business that goes on in your mind that we're all such victims and vulnerable to. And that is why I love to animate. Until next time, stay animated.